okay?
IG.
And when you plant that seed, tell the seed
Awesome
to
and
grow.
amazing.
All right. So with that being said, I just had to
I
say that
believe
before
technical
I bring
difficulty
our
this
beautiful
morning.
presenter on this morning, because I tell you, Tammy with the T actually did an amazing job on yesterday talking about defining moment. And then, of course, we also had double trouble. We had Coach Stormy come on and talk about defining moments. So, listen, defining moments, man, whew, I can't wait to hear what Pamela McCray is getting ready to lay on us.
Okay, looks like we're working over here.
About defining moments. I know she's had many.
You get up and you get us all going so that we can make sure that we wake up and win. Well, today, everybody, I want to say hello to each and every one of you. I feel like I'm in a twilight zone right now where nothing is working. You know, like for real. I couldn't put a post up on Facebook. I couldn't get the post out on 1,000 families. It's like my connection. And then I came home. I can't get on Facebook Live. It looks like I'm just able to chime into Instagram, but I really don't know what's going on. But I can tell you it's a defining moment, right? Where truly I can make a decision to just say, oh my goodness, what is going on? Or I could press on and decide to do what needs to happen on this call this morning. So it looks like I may be getting ready to get up live, but I don't know what's going on. But I tell you, it's these moments like this that can define you, that can definitely challenge you, that can definitely change you. When you begin to realize that, you know what, nothing is impossible to those that make a decision to press on. So it looks like I may be live on Facebook. I think that I'm live on Instagram, but I can tell you a challenge this morning as the phone didn't work. Nothing was working around here. You see, we have this house phone, right, that I'm on. And literally what happens is it rings all the time. You know how you've been given a number in which, you know, was somebody else's number. So it rings all the time. So it's aggravating because nobody knows we have this house phone. So many times Nate will unplug it. Then I don't know how to plug it back up. So I'm like, what is going on this morning? But I can tell you it is definitely a great day. It is definitely a day for each and every one of you to define the very thing that you want to define in your life, because I can tell you that it's moments like these that truly help us to really fully understand who we are as we now continue to move on in life. So I don't know about you guys, but it is Tuesday. It is truly where 2018 is almost over. It is definitely many defining moments happening in our life, because what we do today can definitely bring about our tomorrows. And so on yesterday, just like you heard my beautiful sis mention, and I got to first and foremost kick this thing off, I got to give a huge happy birthday to my beautiful friend before I get to talking, and don't say it, none other than Miss Sonia Atchison. Thank you for just being who you are. You are beautiful from the inside out. You and your phenomenal husband, Jay. I am truly thankful to be able to call you both brother and sister. You know, it's not often that you can meet just genuine people. And I tell you that from the inside out, truly genuine. And I'm thankful that God allowed us, for real, to cross each other's paths as we are definitely in our defining moments, as we are defining our future together. And so I definitely want to say happy birthday to you. But on yesterday, right, we had none other than Tammy with the T. Y'all go ahead and share this live out because it looks like I am live. Tammy with the T kick off this week talking about defining moments and how these are the moments that really you have the opportunity to move. You have the opportunity to realize, and she talked about the anchor. And then, of course, Coach Stormy came on the line, and as she always does, right, and she just blesses us with her presence, right? And she came on here really talking about how it was moments in her life where they truly defined where she is today. And so when we begin to realize that, ladies and gentlemen, nothing for real happens to us, every single thing in life happens for us, then that's when we'll begin to grab a hold and we'll begin to understand that it is these moments. You see, I put up today that when a defining moment comes along in our life, we truly have two options. And option number one is either we are going to define the moment or we are going to allow that moment to define us. It is truly our choice. It is truly up for us to make a decision as to what direction our life, what direction our path, what direction we are about to go. So it's these defining moments that truly begin to create who we are and who we actually become in life. You see, when I thought about defining moments, you have to realize that one of the most powerful things that we can do in life as we get up every single day is to make a decision. And so really all a defining moment is that we decide that no longer, we make a decision that, you know what, we are no longer going to do the same thing that has gotten us to this point. So it's where we truly have a shift, right? As we talked about last week, shift now. We truly have a shift in our life to where we refuse to remain where we are. And so it is definitely a point in life where we are urged to make a decision. See, urge means that, you know what, you do something, you're encouraged to move, right? And so it's either we're urged to make that decision or we begin to experience, you know, some of the things that are now going to fundamentally change exactly who we are. You see, it's these defining moments that are now going to determine our future. It's going to determine who we become. It's going to determine our destination. You see, it's an event that truly occurs in our life, that where every single thing now is going to begin to happen after that very defining moment. So when we look at life, we have to realize that there are many defining moments. It's just that it's a choice, right? Whether we decide to define that moment or whether we decide to allow that moment to define us. You see, it is definitely a choice. Many times when you have people that put their hands to things, right? And they make that decision to do something, right? Different in life in order to have something different. You see, it's now their choice as to whether they get up every single day and to work for it, to define the moment, or it's their choice as to whether they decide to allow that moment to define them, to allow the people, the naysayers, the haters, the no's, and all of that to define the moment for them. So at the end of the day, it's a choice. So what are the defining moments that have happened in each and every one of our lives? We have to take the time to look back and decide, you know what, did we define that moment, right? Or did we allow that moment to define us? Because those defining moments are going to be the very things that end up transforming us into who we become and to what we truly are able to manifest in our lives. You see, the defining moments, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to go from either being talkers, right? Because a lot of times people could talk a good game, but they're not willing to walk the walk in order to go out and get it done. You see, defining moments allow you to decide, okay, am I going to continue to talk? Am I going to get up and continue to just talk about the very things that I want to see happen in my life? Or am I going to get up and decide to walk today? You see, defining moments allow that person to go from being that spectator, that looker that's just looking at things happen in life, to instead making a decision that, you know what, I am going to do some things in life in order to bring about a difference. You see, defining moments allow those thoughts, right? The thoughts that we have in our minds, right? Because it all starts right up in here with our mindset. It allows those thoughts to actually become things because we define that in that very moment that, you know what, we're going to now do what's necessary in order to get this thing done and in order to allow that thought to now manifest into a thing. You see, defining moments, ladies and gentlemen, allow the very dreams, right? Every single one of us have dreams deep down inside of our heart. We get up and we dream about the day in which we can do this. We dream about the day in which we can have that. We dream about the day in which we can own our time, right? We want time freedom. I know I dreamed about the day, right? So therefore, it was a defining moment that I had to make a decision. What am I really going to do in order to take that dream to now becoming my reality? You see, it's a choice. Either the moment is going to define you, or you are going to allow that moment to, or you are now going to make a decision to define the moment. It is your choice. You see, these are the moments, ladies and gentlemen, that are going to force you to truly ask yourself, why? Why? And why am I here? Why is this happening to me? What do I need to do different? You see, defining moments are now going to challenge you to get yourself up every single day and to make a decision to get out of your comfort zone. You see, I can tell you that these were the defining moments that allowed me to go from being fearful to now being fearless. that allowed me to go from being shy to now being bold, that allowed me to now go from being that quiet one that sat back and never had nothing to say to now having a voice and realizing that, you know what, I too have a voice, that allowed me to go from feeling like I had no purpose to now understanding that absolutely you got breath in your body. You opened up two beautiful gifts this morning, your eyes. And so therefore you got purpose just like the next man. And you got to realize and you got to get up every single day and walk in it, own it, and realize that, you know what, these are the moments that are going to define you. You see, defining moments, ladies and gentlemen, it means that you get up every single day and you are going to move differently. You're not going to allow what may have happened yesterday to control you, but instead you get up and you make a decision that you are going to move differently in order to bring about the results that you want to see happen in your life. You see, this is the time of the year, ladies and gentlemen, right now, right? This holiday season, we are coming up on Thanksgiving this Thursday, right? This is the time of the year in which 3 to 5% of the world now has defining moments. You see, it's only 3 to 5% of the world that have these defining moments. Everybody is having them, but they make a decision, right? They choose to define the moment instead of allowing the moment to define them. So therefore, we get up and we act differently. We move differently. We get ahead of the curve, right? We decide to do what the average person is sitting back not doing. We decide to say, you know what? We're going to now accomplish our goals, work on our goals today. We're now going to begin to transform our bodies today. We're not going to wait until January when the gym is full, but instead, especially those with that business mindset, we understand that, you know what? Listen, this is my season to define my moment instead of allowing this moment to define me. So this is the time of the year, ladies and gentlemen, for real, right? When you think about defining moments overall, you see, first and foremost, you got to take the time to reflect, right? When you take the time to reflect on the things that you've done, right? You take the time to reflect on the things that you should have done. Begin to realize that, you know what? Hey, I'm in full control. Let me own the fact that I am today where I am because of the decisions, because of the defining moments that I either decided to define the moment or to allow that moment to define me. So not only are you reflecting, but as you're reflecting, you're now realizing that, you know what, in order to have something different, then what do I need to do different in order to bring about the different that I want to see happen in my life? So we begin to realize some things, right? We begin to operate, we begin to shift, we begin to move differently in order to now act differently in order to bring about a different result. We also, I could tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you see also what you got to do is you got to refuse, right? You got to refuse to repeat the things that did not allow you to get to the place, the destination that you started off in 2018, saying that I was going to do this, I am going to do that. So now at this point, it's a defining moment in your life in which you refuse to repeat the same story over and over and over again. I could tell you that is what truly happened in our life for us to decide to end up in Miami, Florida. I kind of shared that with you guys last week, how it all happened. You see, that was a defining moment for us. When we kept waking up every single year in the same situation, doing the same thing, Nate having the same job, us still living paycheck to paycheck, us still struggling, we decided at that time, that was a defining moment. You see, over the course of time, we were allowing those moments to define us. But it was instead at that very moment when we decided to come down to Miami, Florida, that we realized we had the power, we had the control to now define the moment in order to shift, in order to change the course of the direction in which we were always headed into, like that rat race, like that hamster on the wheel that goes around in a circle, never going anywhere in life, or you getting on a treadmill, and yes, you're running, right? You may be accomplishing some goals, but guess what? You really are going nowhere in life when you're on that treadmill. You got to get in the street and begin to run in order to get from one place to the next place, right? So you refuse to repeat that same situation. And then what happens is you now bring yourself to a resolve. You see, when you bring yourself to a resolve, it means that, you know what, you have now decided, right? This defining moments is just simply a decision. When you resolve to do something, you now decide to do it. So you're going to make that decision that you're going to go out and get it done. You see, ladies and gentlemen, many times, right, every single time of the year, the world makes all these New Year's resolutions, right? And see, what we got to know and understand that for real, a resolution is not a bad thing. It's really not. Because if you look up the word resolution, right? Because when you resolve, you decide, you cut off, right? When you look up the word resolution, it is simply a firm decision to do something. You see, firm means that you're not going to turn back. But see, what happens is the world puts their own definition on resolutions. And so therefore, they don't realize that a resolution, when you resolve, you decide, you cut off some things, you are going to do it regardless. It's a firm decision. But what happens is they don't allow it to become a firm decision because it didn't first start up in here to where now there's a mental shift so that now your mental capacity can line up with the very desire that you want to see happen in your life in order to bring about a result. So therefore, New Year's resolutions are like a joke because people don't understand that the word means firm. It means you don't turn back. It means that you, no matter what, it doesn't matter what the naysayers are saying on the left or on the right, you have a firm decision, a resolution within yourself to go out and get it done. But just like everything else, it's watered down, it's de-edified, so therefore it becomes a joke when people make these New Year's resolutions, right? But I can tell you that truly, once you begin to decide these things, you see, now you got to make a decision that, you know what, this is the defining moment in my life. So now you got to get up and run. You see, the 3 to 5% right now, we running, we not sleeping, we are working, we are doing because we are ahead of the game. We know what's about to happen in 2019. We know without a shadow of a doubt that it is going to be our best year ever. You see, defining moments, ladies and gentlemen, truly reveal what your true character is. You see, in the defining moments, your true character is going to be revealed because in this very moment, you are either going to define the moment or you are going to allow this moment to define you. So who are you today? What is your true identity? Because when you begin to understand who and whose you are, you begin to now identify with your true identity, your character, your behavior. Every single thing that you do is now going to move towards the destination that you decide that you want to create. So what are you saying to yourself? What events in your life are now defining you? What events in your life have now defined you to where either you define the moment or you got to realize that, you know what, I messed up. I allowed that moment to define me. But guess what? Every day is fresh and new. His grace and mercy is fresh and new every day. So you have the opportunity to turn it all around. You see, these are the defining moments that truly are going to take you to the next level. Are you going to allow it to define you, or are you going to define the moment? You see, a defining moment, ladies and gentlemen, when I think about this, it is like your signature move. You see, it's your signature move for real. Because when you decide to define that moment, it means that, you know what, you are signing the deal on that thing. You refuse to remain the same. It means that, you know what, I am about to get this thing done. I am ready to go to the next level. I am ready to level up. So therefore, this is my signature move. This is the move that's now going to make the difference that I want to see happen in my life. This is the move in which I realize that I'm going to impact and help to change the lives of others. Defining moments. They define who you are and who you can become, your character, right? And so I was reading not too long ago the story of Steve Jobs, right? And I could tell you it was so powerful on how powerful defining moments are and how we truly have the choice to allow it to define us or us define the moment. And so a part of this story was where he found out that he was adopted, right? And so when he found out that he was adopted, he was hurt because the first thing that went into his mind was this. It was like, man, my parents, the people who gave birth to me, the people who created me, they didn't want me. Right? So he said, why? So he went to his parents that he knew as his parents, and he asked them, why did my parents not want me? Why did they give me up? And see, this was a defining moment in his life, right? Because what his parents ended up telling him at that moment, and see, this was on their part. They defined the moment, and then he had a choice to define the moment also. And so their response to him was, we chose you. You were chosen. Right? See, now his parents could have said something different in that very moment that could have truly defined his direction in a whole different way. But instead, they said, we chose you. So now Steve Jobs had a choice, right? They said, we chose you, which now in his mind, he's like, wait a minute, I wasn't just given away. I wasn't not wanted, but instead I was chosen. So therefore he had to make a decision in that very defining moment. Do I grab a hold, ladies and gentlemen, of the fact that, do I focus on the fact that my parents gave me away? Or do I focus on the people that love me, that raised me, that I know, and which that just told me that they chose me? So he defined the moment and he decided to go and to run with the fact that he was chosen. And that's how he became multi-billionaire in this world and truly went on to create such success because he moved forward with the mindset that I'm chosen, not that I wasn't wanted, not that I wasn't given away. He defined his moment and created so much success on this earth that now each and every one of us are now gleaning upon, that we're learning from, that we are able to benefit from. So when you think about that, that was a defining moment, ladies and gentlemen. And so as I thought about this for real, we have to realize that the defining moments, ladies and gentlemen, these are going to be the very moments in which we for real understand and we know that we are in control of who we become. Because every defining moment that has happened in my life, I can tell you that I had to believe. I had to realize I had to begin to realize who and whose I was. I had to begin to stretch myself. I had to get out of that comfort zone. No defining moments are created in your life, right? Where you actually choose to define the moment in a comfort zone. I had to get out of it. I had to let go of fear. And you know what? I'm going to close out this call with this, because I shared this with some individuals in our team a couple days ago, right? Where we had a call. And I can tell you so many defining moments have happened just over my life in the last 4 years as the success was created. But I shared this on the call because I was asked a question. And the question was, Coach, what do you do when you're the end all be all to everybody and you want to focus on the very things that you want to accomplish in life? But you have the kids doing this, you have the parents doing this, and you have this and that. And you know what? This was the very thing that came to my mind because this was a defining moment. And these were the defining moments. And I flat out said, stop. I said, you're making excuses. And I said, let me just share this with you. Because these were some defining moments in which I had to make a decision. Do I allow these moments to define me? Or do I define these moments? And I took them back. Let me take you back to the beginning as you guys are making excuses on why you're not getting this thing done. You got to realize that there's always going to be some challenges that come to you every single day. But it all matters on whether you're going to define the moment or whether you're going to allow this moment to define you. And so I took them back to the beginning, right? Where first and foremost, as I kicked off this company, and yes, we went through all kind of financial turmoil and all of that, but I want to tell you the moments that I had to make a decision for real. Do I just lay down and roll over and forget about it, or do I keep on going? And so I shared with them. I said, in the midst of this, let me tell you, I went back to Atlanta, Georgia. I brought both of my parents down here to Florida. My mom with Alzheimer's at the time. I put her on a plane. I never forget singing songs to her, just hoping, praying that she wasn't going to act up on the plane, for real. And so I remember literally this being a defining moment as I'm running for a goal, right? There's a rank in our company called executive. And I'll never forget it because as I'm running for this goal, you see, I had some people on board, right? We were running to get executive done. People were going to break director. And in the midst of it, I get a phone call. My dad is in the hospital, right? So this was a defining moment. Do I just say, forget it, y'all go for it, whatever happens? No. I remember sitting in that hospital room. I remember doing three-way calls. I remember doing lifelines. I remember doing launch calls just to get this thing done. I forgot about it. See, sometimes you got to go back and you got to reflect. And I tell you, it was in that moment in which God just gave and brought this back to my remembrance. But I sat in this hospital room making a decision. Am I going to keep on going? Am I going to focus on the fact that, yes, my dad was very sick at that time. They didn't know what was going to happen to him. Am I going to sit back and sit by him and just pray all night long? Or am I going to continue to move, continue to operate, and realize that this could be a very defining moment? I went executive director from a hospital emergency room, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, I had a choice. I could either make a decision, I could either allow that moment to define me, or I could get up and keep on moving and define that moment. It was a choice. Then I kept going. I said, let me also tell you this. You see, in the midst of this journey, you see, many people don't realize what's going on behind the scenes, but these are all the defining moments in which you got to make a choice. Is it going to define you, or are you going to define this moment? So as I kept on, I never forget the very moment that I waited for over 20 plus years to hold up a check. Yes, we held up a check in 2 months to $22K, but to hold up to for real be in front of an event, the very moment that I looked for, I visualized for 20 plus years, as I'm standing on the stage, holding up that $250,000 check, I get a phone call right before it. It's my mom. She's in a hospital. That she's sick. They don't know if she's gonna make it. That was a defining moment. Do I leave everybody? Do I realize that this is really not about me, Pam? You have been called to impact and change the lives of others. There's people that are coming here that are inspired. There's people in which you can just share one word that can absolutely change their life. Do I allow this moment to define me, or do I define this moment? I moved on. I carried on. I did what I could from afar. I got people down here to make sure my mom was taken care of. I stayed the entire time. Got back here because I realized that, you know what? Do I come and just sit by her bedside and cry? Or do I get up and I define this moment and realize that this is the very course. These are the very steps and now going to lead to what happens tomorrow. So I stayed. Then I kept going. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, there really is no excuse. Because I remember that Christmas season, right around this time, 2015, ladies and gentlemen, where literally we were building this business. We realized that it was not about us, right? I began to now do things, and I had all kinds of things going on. But guess what? My kids, Christmas Eve, had no gifts up underneath the Christmas tree. And so I decided, okay, on that day, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get some gifts. I'm now out there. I'm getting my kids whatever I could find that's left on the shelves, because you know what? At that time, it wasn't about the Christmas gifts. It was about helping to impact, to change the lives of others. And so I said, listen, y'all can wait. But that was the decision I made. And I remember on that day, ladies and gentlemen, literally, where I called my dad and I said, Dad, I'm coming to see you, because the one thing that I wanted was for my parents to get together. And they were separated for months from that time that my mom was in the hospital. She was not with my dad for months prior to her passing. And so the one thing that I wanted, God granted my very wish, was that my parents would be together before my mom passed. But I remember picking up the phone and I said, Daddy, I'm not going to make it. It's almost 9 o'clock at night, right? I remember saying, I got to get home. It's 9 o'clock. My kids have no gifts under the tree. Nothing is wrapped. I'm going to be up all night. They're going to wake up, want to open some gifts. So this was a defining moment. But then as I hung up with him, he said, okay, baby, no problem. The Holy Spirit within said, no, turn that car around. Turn that car around. This was a moment that literally it could have changed. It could have shifted everything. And so I turned that car around, and I remember going that night, literally no excuses. That's what I'm saying, defining moments. You got the power to define the moment, or you are going to allow that moment to define you. And I remember going there that night. I sang my mom her favorite song, even though, yes, I can't sing. Not only that, I read my mom her favorite song that night. Not only that, I held my mama's hand that night. Not only that, I watched my dad hold my mama's hand that night, and then I left. Not realizing, ladies and gentlemen, that very morning, on Christmas morning, I was going to get a phone call where my mom went to be with her Lord and Savior on her very favorite holiday. There couldn't have been a better timing for her. Her favorite holiday, a defining moment. But in the midst of this, we're building a business. Lives are being changed. I could have fell by the wayside, right? I could have just stopped. I could have just said, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? But that was a moment that I had the opportunity to either define the moment or to allow that moment to define me. I could have fallen into a place of depression. That was my mom, for real. Like, I did everything. I felt like I am the chosen one. For real, when it comes time to my parents, there was nothing that I would not do, I would not give. And to this day for my parents. And so therefore, the baby of the family, I'm the chosen one, right? I could have fell by the wayside, but I chose not to. It was a defining moment. Instead, I said, Pam, you do what you got to do. You make sure that your mom is celebrated just like she deserves to be celebrated. And then you make a decision to continue to get up every single day and to do exactly what she would want you to do, which is to smile, which is to drive on, which is to shine in the very industry that she poured into you from a very kid. And so that defining moment, allowed me to get up every single day and to begin to fight even harder for the very things that I wanted to see happen in my life. So I shared that with them to say there really is no excuse. There's no excuse. Because if I didn't allow that to take me under, for real, I could have. I could have allowed that moment to take me totally under. But instead, I made a decision to define the moment. It's a choice. Are you going to allow the moment to define you? Or are you going to define the moments that begin to happen and occur in your lives, realizing and knowing, ladies and gentlemen, that the choice is yours? Who are you? Your true character will always be revealed. It's up to you whether you decide to get up every single day and to fight or to lay down and to lose the battle, because the battle is already won. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close out this Wake Up and Win call this morning. I went a little long, but I tell you, I definitely wanted to share that with you guys this morning because it's a choice. All right. So as I close out this call, I just want to tell you guys that we're in the midst of something amazing and phenomenal. Yes, it's the holiday season time. There's definitely a mad dash for cash going on. And so, you know what, if you're that person that, you know what, you're looking for some holiday cash, all right? You're broke like we was for real a long time ago, just trying to figure it out. And, you know, maybe it's not broke. Maybe you just want to be a blessing in the lives of some others. And, you know, everybody could use an extra holiday little piece of something, right? And so join us back tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe the #1 female network marketer in the entire world, our visionary that I'm truly thankful for every opportunity that she allows me to share on this platform. You always got to give a huge shout out to her and keep her lifted up in your prayers, because I tell you, being her friend, right, I get to see a lot more than you guys do. And when I tell you that she fights behind the scene for real, when I tell you, you guys would not ever understand the battles that she goes through for real, but she jumps on here for every time that she sees us, and she's able to shift just like this in order to know that this thing is so much bigger than the issues that she may have to go through and face, and kind of shield us from a lot of things. So, you know, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if it's not her, it'll be me on the line, whichever. We're going to take you back and help you to understand that, yes, you can definitely grab a hold of what's happening right now. Go for this mad dash for cash as $10,000 is being given away to the person that decides to, you know, share the most or to transform the most. All right. So tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, definitely go out to wellfoundation.org. It's Thanksgiving time, and give to the families as blessings are definitely being made over the holiday season to families that just want to eat for real. Many times they're not asking for nothing else. They just want to simply eat. All right. So let's remember that. So let's go ahead and close out this Wake Up and Win and speak our affirmations this morning. I will hear the voice of the Holy Spirit within. I will lead and not follow. I will create and not destroy. I am a force for good. I set new standards. I defy the odds. I am a leader. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am the lender and not the borrower. I am loved by God. I am chosen by God. I am protected by God. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And every tongue that rises against me in judgment shall be condemned. I am a champion. I am a champion. I am a champion. Everything I touch turns to gold. It's my season. It's my turn. I am happy. I am healthy. I am humble. I am wealthy. I am strong. I will never be broke another day in my life, and I am living in the fullness of God and all that He has for me and my family, and I am created for greatness. Y'all be blessed. Go out, have yourself a phenomenal day. Join us back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as our phenomenal host, Mrs. Larissa Barclay, shares with you defining moments. Remember, you have a choice. You either define the moment, or you're going to allow that moment to define you. It's your choice. Be blessed. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye, everybody.
To stop conference recording, this session is no longer being recorded.
All right. Great morning. Hey, sis. I see you, Peaches. Yes. Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Tammy, Tawana, Lisa, Linnell. I see you, Erica, Camille. Thank you, Instagram. Yes, you are a champion, Crunk. Yes, you absolutely are. Dee Dee from New York City. I see you. Listen, it's a choice, y'all. Let's define these moments. All right. Y'all be blessed. Have yourself a great and phenomenal day. All right. I got some moves to make. Making signature moves. How many of y'all making some signature moves? Those are the moves that's going to define and create your reality. Let's make some moves, y'all. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. You're welcome, Angela. All right. Thank you, Karen. Hey, sis. Thank you. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.